All right, well, when you're a little overly aggressive with your loader, can you see what happens? And so, we've dug with this, and sometimes in hard stuff, and, I'm pretty careful. This one actually bent in. It didn't bend out. It actually bent in, well, in toward the arm at least. And this one bent out. This side's not as bad, but we were clearly hammering on this side a little harder. And when this happened, I don't know. We were actually lifting the Connex, probably 7,000 pounds with that corner, wasn't it?
Oh, so it's not me?
Well, I'm not going to blame myself. You use this tractor as much as I do, so, it could be either of us, or probably both of us. So Don was digging with it today, made a belt noise, so I brought it in here, cleaned up some bearings and stuff, or some pulleys, some pulley bearings, cleaned them up, greased them, and they're all fine. Tightened the belts up a little bit, but yeah, and then I just noticed this, so, because I just noticed it and she was using it, it's probably her fault.
I think it was the Connex.
It probably was the Connex.
My dirt wasn't 7,000 pounds, and neither was my rocks.
Yeah, that was a lot of stress on this. So hopefully nothing else bent. This is the weak link, and I was wondering, should I gusset this? Should I strut it? Should I put some gussets on this to keep this from happening again? It's already bent, and so that worries me a little bit. And you can see that it's not supposed to be like that, even though these are almost symmetrical. So, but I want a weak link also. So, if it bends again, something else just doesn't break. And so now I know where the weak link is and I know where to watch for. Okay, so we're going to get this pin out. We got to get this pin out here and get this bracket out here. This one is actually loose. They don't leave you much room for a socket here, so wrenches are in order. Well, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but that's pretty bent. That is not straight. Okay, I don't know if I can put these back together wrong. Well, I can. Maybe you can't, but I can. So I labeled them out and in, and I'm going to leave that other side together just in case I need to look at it to reference it. I've been using the finger press brake this morning. Well, better. So I still got a little bow right here that I want to get out. So I'm going to put a gap here and push this a little bit past flat. So that seemed to get it out. Okay, well that was the easy one. And it's still not perfectly straight. I may gusset it. I like having a weak spot. I know where the weak spot is now, but I'm worried this is going to bend real easily now that it's been bent around, especially as much as this is bent. Now the other side's not bent nearly as bad. I'm not as worried about it, but this, that's a big difference. We literally were, the Connex was sitting on the side of a hill. We drove underneath it with the tractor, hooked the bucket underneath the Connex, and it's a 10,400 pound Connex, and literally drove uphill, because this only lifts 3,000 pounds, so the hydraulics wouldn't lift it, but I literally drove up the hill, and that literally lifted the Connex up and shifted it where we needed to shift it to. So it worked really well. It was our only solution because all our other pulling options and pushing options weren't working, and we were totally stalled out on it. And this actually worked, and that's probably where I bent these. So, all right, let's get them gusseted. Okay, well this is some 1/4 inch that I'd cut off with the plasma cutter, it looks like. And this is what I have laying around, so this is what we're going to use. 1/4 inch, it's about 1 inch, and got it bent. I didn't use the finger press brake because I just put it in the vise and pounded it over. But we'll go ahead and clean this up and get this burned in. Just something to keep in mind if you are gusseting something like this. Make sure you pay attention to where your bolts go in. So these are offset a little bit there. You can see the hole, so I think I can still get the bolts in. All right, and here's what the repaired side looks like. This was pretty wide. I would have rather used 1 inch. I only had a little bit of 1 inch though, so I ended up using, this is more like 1.5 inches. But I guess it'll do the job. The pins went right in. They just slipped right in real easy. Of course, when everything's straighter, that's the case, right? You can still see a little bit of a gap there. So it's not perfect by any means, but it looks like it's all going to clear here and here real easily. And now we got to grease them. Something that's interesting about these electric grease gun heads is this is a Saker brand from, and I got them on Amazon. I got 3 for like, I can't remember, it's $30 or something, 30, 40 bucks. So I was real excited because that's about what a lock and lube costs, 1 lock and lube. So I was excited about these, but what I don't like about them is how big they are. And when you look at the head also, when you squeeze it to open the jaws, it actually retracts. So that's, I guess that's not that big of a deal, but look how tight of a fit that is. And I can barely get that in there. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it does go on. Now, this lock and lube is much smaller. And when you squeeze the jaws, hopefully I can do it, that actually comes out. So when you go to put it in, it just goes on real easily. And there's a little bit of room around there because there's always crud inside there, right? So if there's a lot of crud in there, this is going to be hard to get in. You're going to have to really, really clean them out good. Let's grease this up. Got the Bauer 20 volt here. Oh, there's grease coming out there already. That's good. Okay. Now, okay. Seems to work okay. It just seems to go in a little bit harder than the other one. There's grease coming out there. That's good. We got some coming out the other side, it looks like. Not yet. It's coming out the bottom there. Okay, cool. And I can hear you guys saying, well, you're not supposed to dig with your loader, and no, you're not. I don't know anybody that doesn't dig with their loader, though. And we're usually pretty careful. I really think it was the Connex that bent this when we were actually lifting the Connex with the tractor and pushing it up in the air. Because I was really stressing this front end. So I was worried about axles. I was worried about something major breaking. So